Welcome to another episode of Ad Spend, where we talk about all things media buying. Today, we have a chance to talk to Nick, who's an incredible media buyer, has an incredible YouTube channel and community. We got into some really cool stuff around how to test with CBO, how to scale with CBO, and what are the things that actually matter when it comes to creative diversity, creative strategy, and your landing pages. So let's get right into it. Nick, thank you for being here today. I'm really excited about this because I've been a big fan of your YouTube channel for the longest time. But Nick, for the few of those who may not know you as well as some of us, would love a quick background, what you've been up to and what you're working on.
Well, appreciate you having me on, Ash. My name's Nick Theriot. I am a Facebook ad agency owner, but a lot of people know me as more of the YouTuber. I've been running Facebook ads now for 10 years. And pretty much been documenting all of my learnings and case studies, et cetera, on my YouTube channel over the last 5 years. I would say collectively, we've probably done a little over $100 million in revenue for my clients at my advertising agency over the last 5 years. And we're not like other ad agencies that work with like hundreds of clients. Like we only work with 5-10 clients at a time because I'm still in the accounts with a small team and everything. You kind of put that just over a handful of clients, it comes out pretty well.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I mean, especially when you know exactly what you're doing and how to do it well. Mm-hmm. If you can go in and build up 5-6 brands, then that's money, right? Mm-hmm. What if I said you're wasting nearly 30% of your ad budget? If you're spending at least $5 million a year, odds are you're setting at least 7 figures on fire. Lifesight has run dozens of waste audits using incrementality tests. Across the board, 20 to 30% of media spend drives zero incremental revenue despite what your in-platform ROAS says. Lifesight is a measurement platform that finds the waste and then tells you exactly what to cut, what to scale, and what to reallocate. No more dashboards and vibes, no more stitched together spreadsheets and gut feelings. Just real measurement built for high growth brands growing to 9 figures and beyond. If you're tired of chasing fake ROAS numbers that collapse as you scale, check out lifesight.io/adspend.
Now, let's get back to the episode.
So, preface of the show, ad spend, I want to get into kind of the technical nitty gritty of what an ad account should look like, and then go into the pieces that actually matter, right? So for those who are listening and watching, there's multiple ways to build an ad account and actually run ads, but we want to talk about your go-to strategy. So let's kick it off. What is the ideal account structure? How are you testing creatives? How are you scaling creatives? What are your audiences that you're going after? Exclusions, attribution settings? Give us the whole rundown.
Great question right there. So like you said, there is hundreds of ways to media buy. And that's like the cool thing I've done over the last 5 years of my YouTube channel is I've tried every way out there. And the way that currently works for me, again, currently works
2025
right now,
June
for me at this given moment, we are doing the 1 CBO per campaign business objective right now. Which for me, that's going to be 1 campaign. Let's say, for example, we have 2 complete different product collections. For you have weight loss supplements. You also have protein supplements. So 1 campaign for weight loss supplements, 1 campaign for your protein supplements. Very simple. Then the next thing I would also look at is 1 campaign per country. And that's just because the clients that are expanded to other countries, we do completely different Shopify stores translated in language and currency specifically. So that's why we do separate campaigns for other countries as well. And then the last thing, almost all of our products that we promote are pretty much like gender neutral. But let's just say if we have a women's collection and a men's collection, then we'll have 1 campaign for women's, 1 campaign for men's. So just kind of give you all the layout of how I'm creating those CBO campaigns right there. Now, majority of accounts now are running the new ASC Plus setup. So there was like the ASC Plus a couple months ago or like a year ago that was released where you couldn't create more than 1 ad set. But now there's the new ASC, which you can create more than 1 ad set. So that's what we're focusing on now. We're running broad targeting, so Advantage Plus targeting is what it now is called. We're running Advantage Plus placements. I think everyone should be optimizing for purchases nowadays, but 100%. You'd be surprised if we still get accounts here and there that are running traffic campaigns when we get in the account. And then what we'll do is we'll create new ad sets inside of that campaign. Inside of those ad sets, this is where we're going to be launching our new creatives. Okay. I like to do one creative concept per ad set. A concept for me is going to stem from a hook. So we'll take our hook, how to lose weight in 30 days. We'll create a UGC script. We'll hire a creator. She'll film a video, and we'll turn that one video right there into anywhere between 3 to 6 videos where we're just changing the visual hook on each of those videos.
Got it.
And then we used to do the flexible ads, but we're leaning more now to doing those 3 to 6 videos in that ad set as single ads, but then we're doing 2 primary texts on each one. So that way we can actually see what visual hook wins, whereas traditional flexible is just, it's giving it too much inconsistency of, you know, what ad works in that case. And then from there, we're just letting the CBO do the work. We're letting Facebook decide on what ad sets it wants to spend on or not. There is some debate if it spends literally like a little bit of money that you should like put in an ABO campaign and stuff like that. For me, I'll just go ahead and put like a $5 to $10 a day minimum spend on that ad set just to nudge it forward a little bit. I don't want to put too much to where I blow all my budget, but just a little bit to nudge it forward. And then the last thing is I'll launch anywhere between 3 to 6 new ad sets per week. I like to have one dedicated day each week that I upload ads. So that way, from a systemization perspective with a team and everything like that, everyone knows when those ads need to be ready. Doesn't matter what day you do, just as long as you pick that day, you stay consistent with it, and you do that every 7 days.
No. Okay.
And then pretty much from there, I'm just trimming off the ad sets that are negatively impacting the business in terms of like has a really high CPA. It's bringing up the CPA average for that campaign. And yeah, I'm not doing cost caps, bid caps. I'm doing the standard 7-day click, 1-day view. I'm not messing with any of that stuff. I've tested a lot of those things, and I just had a lot of short-term success, but nothing really long-term. Whereas this structure right here, we've been running now for 2 years, and we're still having a lot of success with it and a lot of consistency with it.
Got it. Awesome. Well, love this. Super simple, very straightforward, and it makes sense, right? Obviously, launching into a CBO, you're letting Meta take control on where it wants to spend, right? So a few questions here on the account setup, because I'm sure people will have this, but in terms of exclusions, especially for new ads, are there anything you guys, anything that you guys are doing there to kind of force into new audiences, or are you kind of just leaving it broad?
We're leaving it broad. Meta released this new thing called the audience segments. I'm not sure if you set those up yet. So you can actually break down and see where Meta is spending on specifically, whether it's like website visitors, existing customers, and stuff like that.
Right.
And we had that set up, turned on, and then we're like, hey, let's start excluding 180-day webs or purchases specifically, just to like force it to find new customers. And we didn't see any difference in spend at all between like shifting from existing customers to now only new people. It just went back to standard marketing fundamentals, which is like, if we want to reach more people, we need to build ad creatives that appeal to larger groups of people.
Right.
That's all we got to do in that case.
Makes sense. Second question was, when you do launch new ad sets and new ads, right? The amount that you're actually testing, does it matter, and does it depend on the actual size of the brand and how much they're spending, or you're just blanket, you know what, I want to test 3 to 6 concepts, 3 to 4 ads each?
This is where I always like to tell people, as long as it's quality, I don't care. Quantity versus quality, that's a huge debate right now. I lean more on the quality side, but I do recommend quantity for brand new people who have no eye at all for advertising, because that's where it's like, if they do quantity, it's going to give them a higher probability of finding a winning ad. People that know advertising, they know marketing fundamentals, they know how to build creatives and stuff like that, I recommend quality. Quality test for me, it's like, oh, hey, I see that brand running an image ad. I'm going to go run an image ad. Versus, hey, I spent all day doing customer research. I noticed this particular sub-market, postpartum moms, struggle with, you know, the FUPA or the mommy pooch. And we haven't actually ran any ads to the mommy pooch before. Let's go ahead and actually create and build a set of ads that target that specific pain point right there in that customer. And then let's go launch that. That's a quality test for me. Versus just, oh, hey, that brand's running an image ad, let me go test that. So as long as you're doing quality tests like that, active hypothesis, I don't care.
Makes sense.
How many you're doing.
All right, you're testing a new ad sets and you find some winners, right? Are you consolidating winners in like a main ad set with all your winners, or are you kind of leaving things on where they are?
Great questions. We used to. And then ultimately what we found.
Used to meaning you consolidated winners.
We used to consolidate winners into a main ad set. And ultimately we did it for a period of time. And what I would find is that, okay, hey, Facebook's spending all this money in this ad set. It just became a new winning. It's scaling. We're profitable. So now let's go turn off this thing that's making us money, pull a post ID into a main ad set, and hopefully Facebook figures out what I'm trying to do here.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's a good point.
just leave it on and keep making money.
Yeah.
And then we ran into that situation where it was like, okay, we're pulling the post ID from the ad set and putting it in the main ad set, and it wasn't taking off in the main ad set. And I would get so many people, Nick, my main ad set's not taking off. I just found this new winning ad. Why it's not? And it's like, Facebook does not know your strategy.
Yeah.
Facebook does not know that you're moving this to main ad set, et cetera. So for me, yeah, we just completely cut out the main ad set, and we just pretty much treat that big CBO with all those ad sets as like almost like individual ads, because each different ad set is a different ad concept from there.
Understood. So you could have, I mean, give us an example in like a campaign. How many active ad sets do you have?
I typically notice, I would say 9 to 12. Depending on like how much we're spending. On average, 9 to 12. It's usually like 4 to 5 solid winning ones. And then the other like 5 to 6 are like testing ones that we're currently producing right now.
Got it. And then one question here around learning phase. I would imagine that, you know, after 7 days, if something doesn't get too much spent, it's going to hit learning limited. Any thoughts there? Are you turning those off and just kind of moving on to the next concept, or are you leaving them on?
I'm just turning those off.
No, I agree. I think even for us, like our whole strategy last year was running on like cost caps, and like if it didn't get spent in 7 days and it hit learning limited, just turn it off and move on to the next one. So I love the concept here. It's different than maybe some of the other previous conversations we've had on the show, but it in theory it makes sense. Last question around ad account structure, and then I want to get into the actual things that matter, is when you do have something that's just continuously ripping, right? Like you just have a winning concept and you're testing and testing, you can't seem to dethrone it, right? Do you get frustrated? Is it like, you know what, like, do I need to test this outside of the CBO? Because like I had a really good feeling about it and it's not getting spent. And so what's your like mindset around that?
So if something's crushing, then we need to kind of understand, first off, is this a brand new idea? Like, let's just say, for example, with the mommy pooch example we just talked about a second ago.
Right.
Maybe that's the first time we've ever tested that particular persona right there. And the very first time we test it, boom, it becomes a winner. So now this is where I'll spend anywhere between 2 to 3 weeks just focusing on iterations and variations of that concept. Now, after those 2 to 3 weeks go by, now the only thing I'm going to go back and focus on is new ideas, new concepts, new personas, totally new things we've never opened up before. I think that's one thing that people who do get in that particular trench right there, where they find something winner and they just keep trying to beat it with like the same thing over and over, just slightly different. I've seen so many brands fall because of that. The next thing is, great, congratulations, you just found a new winning ad. Go solve the other parts of the funnel now. You have a phenomenal ad. It's getting a really good cost per click. It's getting a really good cost per purchase. Have you tested any new landing pages with that ad? Have you tested improving your AOV? Like, what are other parts of the funnel that we can go apply pressure on now, since we just reduce some of that pressure for finding a new winning ad? That's what I would want to go look at next.
I love that. I want to get into that. Last final question on account structure. How are you setting budgets and how are you scaling budgets? Setting
budgets, I genuinely, like almost all the clients we come on board, they're already spending $1,000 to $2,000 a day. So like for us, it's like all we're doing is increasing budgets. Now, anytime we launch a new campaign for whatever reason, I genuinely always tell people to start off at $100 a day, or whatever you can spend for 30 days without being emotionally tied to it. Now, there probably won't be too many people here that's starting from scratch with Facebook ads watching this podcast, but the few people that are, that's what I always tell people. What can you spend consistently for 30 days without being emotionally tied to the results? Because what happens is a lot of people, they'll spend 3 days, they'll blow their whole budget in 3 days, and then it's like it doesn't give them time to do the research and test a lot of creatives over, and actually, like, I guess humans, like, we get more ideas the more we put pressure onto something. So you might get a whole bunch of creative ideas, go test them, and then they fail, and then a lot of people just quit there. But if you keep putting pressure, you'll keep coming up with better and better ideas, and you just need some of that time element right there. As far as increase in budget, for me, I keep it very simple. Look at the last 24 hours. Did we hit our target KPI? Some of our clients, it's NCPA. Some of our clients, it's like overall ROAS, whatever KPI is set and we modeled out, and that's how we want to scale this account. I'll just go increase budget by 20% and let it roll.
Love it. Awesome. Okay. So for those that are questioning, how do I set up my ad account? This is a perfect way to do it. Marketing across multiple channels can be pure chaos. One platform says scale, the other says pause. The CFO says cut the budget. That's where Lifesight comes in. It combines geo experiments, MMM, and incrementality adjusted attribution in one unified platform. You get causality, not just correlation, and click paths. But the best part is it doesn't stop at measurement. Lifesight gives you accurate plan forecasts with actionable recommendations like cut this campaign or scale this channel. If you're spending real money and don't know what's actually moving the needle, you need to try Lifesight. Get started with a 30-day free audit and platform evaluation by going to lifesight.io/adspend. They'll show you exactly where your spend is being wasted, no strings attached.
Now, let's get back to the episode.
Now, let's get into the things that actually matter and actually will move the needle in your ad account, right? I want to talk about creative process. I think you and like the content that you put out on YouTube and Twitter, I think you are very focused on customer personas, actually doing the research, seeing what people are talking about, pain points, and actually creating creatives that talk to the right people, okay? I mean, you test ad copy a lot, you test different scripts and different styles of ads. Would love to get into what your process is. Like, what is the research phase? What are you looking for? And how are you turning that into performing ads?
It's a really great question. Very loaded question, too. So I'm going to preface this with just starting off with, in advertising, all of the accounts that we see do the biggest success. Everything we see from a social media, like things that go viral, it's always going to be purple cows. You've heard of the purple cow theory already, right?
I haven't.
Okay, so if you're driving down, like, let's just say a back country road,
Right.
and you see some cow pastures and stuff like that, or a whole bunch of cows and stuff like that, the cow that's going to pop up to you is going to be the purple cow,
Right.
Because you've never seen a purple cow before. You've seen hundreds of white and black cows before, and you'll see all those white and black cows in that field. So the purple cow theory is the same thing that Mr. Beast accumulates all of his success to. Every video, it's how do we create something no one's ever seen before? Now, that puts a lot of pressure on you. How do I go invent something that's never been invented every single time you create a creative?
Right.
So for me, this is where I discovered this really cool book called Breakthrough Advertising. And this book is literally a step-by-step guide on how to consistently keep pumping out purple cows. So yes, research, very great way. That's where I like to start with everything, because research allows me to understand competition in the marketplace. It allows me to see what products people have tried and failed with. It allows me to see like real life customers like talking about these pain points they're going through and everything, to where I can then go and understand, okay, how do I want to position my product in front of these people? So if it's like, let's say for example, it's the mommy pooch, and people want to get rid of the mommy pooch, for example. If I go do my research and I see no other competitors are running ads to that particular desire right there, and I go start creating content around the mommy pooch and how to get rid of it, I'm going to be a purple cow.
Right.
And then let's say everyone's running ads to the mommy pooch though. Then what do you do next? So then that's when you have kind of three key strategies here. Strategy number one is you just completely beat all of your competitors with better content. When I was working with Icon Amsterdam, we helped them scale from 200K a month to roughly about $2 million a month over the course of 2 years. That was their only strategy. They would just simply take other fashion brands that were running the same product, and they were spending like $100, $200 per UGC video. We would start spending like $500 to $1,000 per UGC video. We would work with very high-end creators that no one else had access to because no one was willing to risk their money on that.
Right.
They were though. And then that allowed us to just simply have better content than all of our competitors, but immediately allowed us to beat the competition. So one way is you just do something better than a competition. I like to make the other example is if you're like selling a iPhone case for like strength, everyone else is dropping it from like a table like this. I want to drop it off a house.
Right.
Everyone's dropping off a house. I want to drop it off an apartment building. So I just want to do everything. Just pick one thing, do it better. That's it. Second way is I want to go after a sub identity. So obviously if we're going to go after mommy pooch, okay, hey, everyone's going after the mom pooch. How can we go more specific to a sub identity on that? Black Rifle Coffee Company is a phenomenal example of this. I've never tried their coffee personally, but I never hear anyone talk about their coffee. I just hear people talk about their brand. So when they were getting started, how do they differentiate themselves from all the other coffee companies? They just simply went after people that appreciate the military, love the military, and also active like military people. And yes, they went for a smaller market, but now they get all of one market versus all of like getting nothing of the whole market itself. So you go after a sub identity. How to scale Facebook ads, how to run ads versus how to scale Facebook ads specifically for supplement brands. You just niche down to a sub identity. Third way is bigger claims. Obviously, everyone's talking about making 10K a month. We're talking about making 30K a month. We're just simply bigger claims in the ads itself. How to lose the mommy pouch 7 days, how to lose the mommy pouch overnight. So obviously that wouldn't be FTC compliant right there. But I'm just simply looking at what is already currently existing on the market, and then how can we just take it one step further? That's like the easiest, like no-brainer that anyone can apply to start making some purple cows.
Wow.
Before you start getting into like positioning and stuff like that from research.
Love that. So now that you've got your research, you understand the angle and the persona that you want to hit, right? Now, in terms of actually going and creating, you know, maybe static ads and video ads, what is the process there so that, one, you are obviously going after this angle that you've now researched, but two, now especially post, you know, Andromeda update and, you know, this whole algorithm update, making sure that you have enough diversity in your creatives. How do you guys think about, you know, making sure that you are pumping out the right amount of creatives and the right styles too?
Yeah. So once you do your research and you figure those things out and you figure out how you want to position your product. So like if we're gonna go back to like Mommy Pooch, for example, and we want to talk about how fast our product can help you lose the mommy pooch right there, then what I want to do now is just start writing hooks for that. And this is where I'll love to like just use ChatGPT, where I'll literally go and like upload all my product information to ChatGPT, and then I'll go upload all of my research around the mommy pooch and how my product helps the mommy pooch. Here's all the pain points around it, yada, yada, yada. And I'll upload that to ChatGPT and just be like, hey, as Dan Kennedy, really great copywriter that ChatGPT already understands. As Dan Kennedy, please write me out 10 headlines for this specific persona right here. Then I'll start getting my headlines. And what I'll do is I usually pick out 2 or 3 of them I really like. For me, the perfect headline calls out an ideal audience, implies the benefits, and intrigues curiosity. So I'm basically looking for the headlines that hit on those, have those key traits right there. Then from there, I'll usually go, and this is where I want to decide, do I want to do video or do I photo? There's no perfect answer for this, but the thing that I've seen over the couple years, it's what is going to create the largest amount of proof to a consumer. People believe what they see, not what they hear. So for example, if we were running a photo ad that said this was the world's strongest iPhone case, that's not really gonna be that believable. But if I literally do a 5-second video of dropping an iPhone from an apartment building with the big hook on it, world's strongest iPhone case, it hits the ground, I pick it up and I see that the phone still works perfectly fine, that's gonna create substantially more proof to the customer right there. So, and I've seen photo ads work really well, seen video ads work really well. So the big thing for me, it's what's gonna provide the greatest amount of proof to my customer. Then the next thing I wanna look at is where are we gonna send this traffic as well. So, and this is going to also debate whether I do video or photo, or it's also going to figure out like basically what I'm going to say in that script right there. You know, I could do a 5-second, 10-second video, then send people to an advertorial, or I can do a 5-minute long video and then send people to a product page. I honestly have no like perfect like, hey, do this or that. It's more like, let's just test a few of those different type of styles and see what works best for that particular account right there. But yeah, so that's kind of like my next thought process right there. Then it's like, okay, hey, we're gonna do a 30-second UGC video. We're gonna send people to our product page. So then I'll take people through that flow of that video. And this is where market awareness comes in play from breakthrough advertising, is it allows me to understand what are the mental loops I need to jump through. If we're positioning our product as the cheapest pair of shoes in the marketplace, then it's just cool. Here's 5-second video of the cheapest running shoes in the marketplace. That's it. I don't need to sit there and educate people about running shoes. But if it's like, here's how to buy a Lamborghini, then it's like, all right, big win, unaware. Problem, you're broke. Solution, start a Facebook ads agency. Product, my product. And then aware, you buy in the next 24 hours, you get a one-on-one call with me if you buy it now. So that kind of depends on like the stage market awareness they're at. And then that's going to control what I need to jump through in that script, or if I'm going to send them to an advertorial, and that's also going to control what's going to be said in that advertorial right there. So that's going to be kind of the more of like the creative process right there. As far as creative diversity, that's a really great question you just asked, is I have two kind of places for inspiration. Number one, just go on Instagram Reels, give yourself 30 minutes to zone out and just scroll. And all you do is just anything that like grabs your attention. Like you'll be scrolling, you'll be like, ooh, what's this? Or you'll be scrolling, you might scroll past something, then wait, hold up, let me go back and see that. Or you might actually watch the whole thing all the way through. Those are gonna be things that are scroll stopping for me.
Right.
And then all I simply want to do is just replicate that thing. And it could, I don't set any limitations. It could be, an organic reel. It could be a paid reel. I don't care. Just whatever grabs my attention. That's where I discover a lot of trends that are happening right now. So that's where we got the POV trend. I'm sure you've seen that plenty of times. I remember like the first time ever seeing it, it was like POV. You went from like girls ghosting you to now like them always chatting with you. And that was like a 5-second clip of like some dude getting a bunch of DMs on like, I don't know, I think Tinder or Hinge or something like that. Right. So I literally went do the exact same ad, but I did like POV. You went from losing money every day on Facebook ads to scaling profitable. And I just showed a screenshot of a Shopify store zooming in. Literally, it's all I did. Just recreate that trend right there. And that ad crushed really well. So I just basically go take those trends I find, just recreate them with my winning persona, winning messaging, and all of those things to where I can still be trendy in a way, also leveraging things that's already working really well in the algorithm. And that way I'm constantly having new ideas to pump in the account for videos. And then for photos, my favorite platform right now is Creative OS. And I would just go in Creative OS and just kind of scroll through, and whatever grabs my attention, I'll just go and create a few templates like that. That's easiest one right there for
love
diversity.
No, I love that. I think the it's so well thought out. And so for those who are listening, like this is the marketing principles that you need to follow to get in front of the right person, talk to them in the way that they need to be talked to, and then bring them to a page that will continue that experience. So quick question on what you mentioned, because you went super in depth, landing pages, right? Are you literally testing new landing pages for every angle that you come up with, or do you have like a main one that like, I know this just converts on everything, and then kind of putting that in there?
So it really just depends right there. Let's say if we have an account right now that never had a winning landing page and it's just always been product page, then anytime we test something new, we'll probably just go to product page. Now, if we create a whole new ad with the intentions of sending it to a landing page or like an advertorial, like if I do a POV, you went from the mommy pooch to looking perfectly slim again because you discovered XYZ method, and then I'll send people to a landing page where it's like, what's the XYZ method? And I'll go really in depth into that right there. So there'll be some ads that I create with specific intention to go to landing page.
Because you haven't sold them on anything, as you're just piquing their interest, and now you need to sell them on something, right?
Correct.
Fair.
So that kind of is where that goes into. If we already have a winning landing page and we launch a new set of ads under that same angle, then sure, we'll keep using that winning landing page right there.
Right. If you have a winning ad and it's doing well, say like going into PDP, are you taking that winning ad and maybe testing another landing page?
Absolutely. Yeah. All I'll do is I'll duplicate that ad, change the URL, let it roll.
And is that in the same ad set?
That's why I'll just duplicate the ad set. Okay. Yeah. Keep it simple.
Interesting. Love that. If you're scaling across Meta, Google, TikTok, and connected TV, but still don't have a clear answer to what's actually working, Lifesight can give you that clarity. It helps you move away from outdated touch-based attribution models. It's a measurement tool that shows what's truly driving growth and profits so you can make your best decisions. They'll audit your ad spend for free, show you where the waste is, and give you a clear plan to reallocate it. If you're ready to stop guessing and start scaling with confidence, get started with your first 30 days on the house. If you're ready to stop guessing and start scaling with confidence, get started with your first 30 days on the house. Check out lifesight.io/adspend or hit the link in the description.
Now, let's get back to the episode.
Nick, this was amazing. Before we wrap up, I want to talk through some of your favorite tools that you're using on a day-to-day basis. I know you mentioned Creative OS, but what else are you using that kind of just makes your life way easier?
Yeah, Creative OS and Canva, Those are phenomenal for statics right now. Foreplay is really good too as well. Big debate, Foreplay versus Atria. I like Foreplay. It's a little easier for saving
What do you
boards or
use
anything like
Foreplay
that.
for?
When I'm doing research and I'm saving ads in the Facebook ads library, I'll save it to a board so I can just share that board. Another thing I'll do is like I'll make, like here's 10 videos or 10 different ads for a product aware market. And that way I have like ad examples for each stage of market awareness. So I can give that to like my students and stuff like that.
Got it.
Foreplay, frame.io. I love that specifically for like my editors to send me content to be reviewed. Frame.io is phenomenal for that.
Yeah.
Incense for UGC creators and everything like that.
Big fan.
Google Docs, ChatGPT. I jump back and forth between like Claude, for example, phenomenal for advertorials.
Yeah.
Whereas ChatGPT I find is a lot better for just like short form ads and stuff like that. Yeah, I would say that's the main thing. Besides like, project management, Asana, Slack,
Are you guys using any attribution tools?
Triplewell.
Yeah.
Yeah, Triplewell is my favorite. I've started leaning less on attribution tools lately and just focusing more on like the Facebook data and stuff.
Yeah.
But what I love about Triplewell is just being able to pop open the dashboard and see, okay, NCPA, new customers, returning customers, things like that. To where like I'm not even really using it for the attribution side, and also the customer cohort section. I love that as well.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, they have this whole new AI agents coming out, so I'm excited to check
That's
that
gonna
out.
be pretty cool.
But Nick, no, I appreciate you taking the time to go through your entire strategy. I mean, from the account structure, it makes a ton of sense, right? You're kind of just letting Meta do its thing, but you are feeding it quality creatives, quality landing pages, well thought out personas and angles, and that's why it works. So, for those who are struggling a little bit, test this out, focus on the deep research, and thank you again, Nick.
You're welcome,
Appreciate
man.
you.
Had a blast. Thank you for having me on.
Awesome. And until then, happy scaling.